And here we are. It might look like a normal hotel room, but it's not. It's the hotel of the Fazed Photographer. In this building are thousands of damned souls who've got stuck on their photographic journey. Essentially, they've got phased. I got phased. I managed to get out of this place like 20 years ago, but I thought I'd come back into it just again as a lovely soul. Kind of tell you a few ways that you can hopefully get unfazed yourself if you've got stuck recently on your photographic journey. Here are 5 ways to get unfazed and get out of this hotel of the Fazed Photographer. Number 1, Imposter Syndrome. Now, Imposter Syndrome is a scary thing because you can be doing something for quite a long time and still not feel legitimate. That might be for some people that they haven't found a way of doing it professionally. It might be because they're lacking a certain confidence in what they've done already. It might be because there's no support networks. There's no one to objectively look at the work and say it's great. So yeah, it's a tricky one. And it's well documented. Loads and loads of artists and people will have imposter syndrome. But really, it's not so bad because as long as you just keep going, you're going to reach a point years down the line when you can't have imposter syndrome anymore because you've just been simply doing it for too long. And if you continue on your journey and you actually make it, that's it. You're doing it. Like the journey, being on that journey, that is the reward. It doesn't matter. You don't need someone to wave a wand and say, oh, you're for real now. If you just keep going, you are for real. Number 2, paralysis through analysis. Now, this is a common problem with students who study photography at art college or at university, where a lot of time is spent kind of like theorizing about their project or their photographs before they take it. And then they can end up in this horrible feedback loop where they're constantly trying to assess, like, is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? Until they start photographing it. Well, you know what, man? To me, like, all ideas sound pretty good until you start photographing them. So yeah, that's the thing. I've known many photographers who've literally been phased by paralysis through analysis to the point where they are no longer photographers anymore. It's serious, okay? So if you value being a photographer and taking photographs, this is a really dangerous one. I knew a tutor of mine, an old tutor, who went to the Royal College of Art, and for one of their projects, they were wiping their arse on toilet paper and then shining light through that toilet paper in a dark room, okay? And it's fair to say that that person didn't go on to do any more kind of photographs as we know it. So yeah, paralysis through analysis is dangerous. A way to break it is just to get loose again. If you've overstudied stuff, if you've over-theorized stuff, what you might want to do is just go out and shoot. Just go out and take some pictures, man. Try to free yourself from that burden, okay? It's a tricky thing to do when you're used to kind of deconstructing an image, so you're constantly assessing what's going on. Again, I've suffered from that myself, but yes, there's a way you can get through it. There's a way you can get back to just purely, it sounds terrible, man, but just look at stuff. Just look at stuff and take pictures, right? You kind of have to reset, go back to the beginning, but that'll be a way of getting over that horrible overanalyzing everything to the point where you can't shoot anything. Number 3, pleasing others. So obviously this sounds like a very good thing. Again, something that can be a hang-up from someone studying photography or having a mentor where, everything's about that feedback and in a really messed up way. If you're a people pleaser, if you want to make people happy and you've got like a mentor or a tutor or a teacher, you're maybe going to try and do the things that kind of fit in with their advice. And like a lot of advice is really good, but sometimes you just have to like walk the path, shoot what you're going to shoot. And you know what, man, your work can be very different to your tutor's work, and that's okay, that's fine. Another thing for just pleasing others is just people in general. Like a lot of my favourite photographers did not make work that was popular. It certainly wasn't pleasing others. A lot of them was just kind of making work in a way for themselves. And you know what, that's not a bad place to start, is it? If you're trying to pursue some idea of authenticity, of trying to create like an authentic visual style for kind of how you see, just start from you. Stuff it. Please yourself, man. Just go for it and see what comes out. Because if you're always trying to please other people in anything, you're never going to be happy. Just try and make work that you feel is important, that you connect with, that you enjoy. Start from there. Number 4, taking the same photograph again and again. Essentially getting stuck. And this is something that happened to me, that I got spooked when I sort of was taking photographs, and sometimes in different countries, and they'd end up looking quite similar, like similar subject matter, similar composition. And for a while I was sort of a bit spooked. And then I saw this Magnum photographer called Pencasov, and I spoke to him about it a bit. And he said, oh, you're taking the same photograph again and again. And for a little while I got upset thinking, damn, I got to change up what I'm doing. I'm stuck. I'm stuck taking the same photograph again and again. But then over the years I realised, dude, man, like that was my visual style. Because wait for it, even though I was in different countries, everywhere you go, there you are.
Hey, there you are.
Well, hi, do I know you?
No, but that's where you are. You're there. Hey, viva Las Vegas, baby.
Yeah. So all these places I was traveling around, there was a connection. The connection was me and how I saw the world. And that's how I kind of broke through to have my own visual style. So you can feel at the beginning, maybe for me it was about, I guess about 5 years photographing, getting into that place. So yeah, you can feel like suddenly, oh, you're stuck, you're doing the same thing. But you know what? The same thing is you. You're you. You're the same thing. So just keep going. Fifth thing of getting phased, and it's best explained through the theory of the Helsinki Bus Syndrome. Imagine you're at the bus station at Helsinki in Finland. There's all these different buses, and your journey as a photographer begins when you pick up a camera and you start shooting a certain way and you hop on a bus. And as the bus travels out of Helsinki, you're shooting a certain way and you start looking around. You think, oh yeah, maybe I'm going to shoot large format portraits of my family. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm shooting large format portraits of my family and da-da-da. And you get for a little while and you go, hey, that woman looks familiar on this bus. Oh no, I'm on Sally Mann's bus. And you freak out and you jump off the bus and you get another bus back all the way to Helsinki station where you start thinking of something else to do. Maybe I'll do some colour documentary photography of England. Yeah. And you're on a bus and it's going along pleasantly and you're using some like flash and you're shooting on beaches and before you know it, there's Martin Parr. Oh no, you've ended up on Martin Parr's bus and now you have to get off Martin Parr's bus and walk back all the way to Helsinki Central Station. And this can go on and on your entire life. But here's the way to get through it. The way the Helsinki buses work is a lot of the buses sort of end up on very similar lines, so everyone's travelling along together. But here's the trick, right? If you stay on the bus long enough, you will find new territory. You'll go beyond where those other photographers went. So you know what? Next time you're on a bus and you're like, holy moly, I'm on Irving Penn's bus, just stay on it. Just keep going.
Never get out of the boat. Absolutely goddamn right. Unless you were going all the way.
You'll fly past the hotel of the Fazed Photographers and you'll end up in new ground, new original territory just for you. And you know what will then happen? Years down the line, some poor son of a bee will get on that bus and they'll be like, oh my God, and they'll get freaked because they're on your bus. Yeah, you've marked out your own visual style. Oh my God. So yeah, that's it.